Disclaimer: I am not a game developer, designer, programmer, or creator. I am not a professional by any means. I am just someone who likes horror games and enjoys analyzing the things that I like. Also, this video may contain loud noises and spoilers for Baldi's Basics Classic Edition, I think. Welcome to Taster 256's Basics in the search for the perfect horror game. That's me! Hi, I'm Taster 256, and on this episode of The Search for the Perfect Horror Game, a series about the study and analysis of horror games, I will be looking at Baldi's Basics and Education and Learning Classic Edition trademark, and how it uses RNG to create a horror experience that is definitely unlike any other. Baldi's Basics and Education and Learning Classic Edition trademark, or just Baldi's Basics as it's also called by people who are insane enough to talk about this game, but not insane enough to actually use its full title, was created by Mistman12 and released on March 31st, 2018 for the Metagame Jam. In it, you play as you, whose friend is late for an eating contest but needs his note booze which he left at school. Being the notoriously good friend you are, you agreed to go to the schoolhouse, run by a man named Baldi, and get those notebooks back. But of course, it won't be that easy. Baldi loves challenges, and so challenges you with every notebook you collect. And the challenges are simple, but you better not get one wrong, or else you'll see what happens to those who can't do their math. So as you run around collecting notebooks and escaping the wrath of Baldi, you will meet the other people at this school and learn the unique challenges they pose. Challenges you will come across at random, which leads into RNG, or random number generation, is a term that in the world of video games mainly means luck. More specifically, luck with how it relates to what happens in the game. There is a lot of debate on if RNG is good, but I'm not here to get into that. Rather, I'm just here to talk about how it relates to horror. If you want my opinion, in a nutshell, I think whether it's good or bad, RNG is necessary for video games to function the way they do. Anywho, Baldi's Basics in Education and Learning Classic Edition trademark has 7 characters. They are the principal of the thing, Playtime, It's a Bully, Mr. Sweep, Arts and Crafts, First Prize, and the titular Baldi. The game starts off with just you and Baldi, where you have 2 notebooks to collect. This game has a presentation of just a normal edutainment game, which is dropped pretty quickly, and you are thrown into the game with all 7 characters roaming about. So the game has a FNAF 3 style of challenge, where only one of the characters can kill you, and the others are just there to make it harder for you to avoid that fate. The only way you can actually lose the game is if Baldi catches you, but the other characters will challenge you in other ways. For example, the principal of the thing will run around the halls doing his little whistle, and if he catches you breaking any of the rules, those being running in the halls, entering faculty-only rooms in the halls, drinking in the halls, or escaping detention in the halls, he will put you in the detention room in the middle of the building for a certain amount of time. The time starts at 15 seconds, and in the original goes up to 30, 45, 60, then 99 seconds for every detention added after. But in the new version, it goes up by 5 seconds each time until 60 seconds, where it jumps to 99 seconds again. Playtime will skip rope around, playing her little jingle. If she spots you, she will chase after you saying, "Let's play!" From here, you must jump rope with her 5 times, forced to stand still as you play with her, slowly jumping through ropes as Baldi gets closer and closer. And if you mess up, you have to start over. Or, you can grab a pair of safety scissors and cut her rope, temporarily disabling her. It's a Bully will spawn in at random, blocking a path and saying, "I'm gonna take your cane." If you have one or more item, you will have one left as he takes an item at random and leaves. If you don't have an item, he will not let you pass. Gotta Sweep will say, "Looks like it's sweeping time," and then sweep all over the place. Anyone caught in his sweeping will get swept along with, and he will sweep until his sweeping duties have been swept under the sweepable rug. First Prize works in a similar way, but only pushes you, and moves in a weird way with an incredibly fast forward movement, but a horrible turning rate. Arts and Crafts does absolutely nothing, just standing around and running away whenever you look at him. That is, until you collect 7 notebooks, where he does this. He teleports you right to the start of the school, right along Baldi. Speaking of Baldi, As mentioned before, he gets angry when you get problems wrong, and chases after you with a ruler, not stopping until he catches you. You can run.
No running in the halls.
You can walk away from him, but the only way to not die is to collect all 7 notebooks and escape. As also said before, he is the only one who can kill you. So how does this weird game create horror? Well, for one, the whole school has this weird uncanny valley feel to it. This whole thing feels unnatural. It also has a stark contrast between what you first start off with,
You need to collect 2 notebooks before you can use these doors.
and what the game ends up being.
Sweep, sweep, sweep! Sweep, sweep, sweep!
15 seconds. Detention for you. When will you?
But I'm not here to talk about atmosphere, at least not in this video. No, what makes this game scary is less of a dread of what could happen, and more of a panic and fear of getting out of immediate danger. For example, if you're running around, playing the game like normal, and you get sent to the principal's office for the umpteenth time, your fear in that situation is derived from if your punishment will end before Baldi gets to you. But let's say you manage to escape just as he's at the door, and you turn to run the other way, but BAM! Playtime has decided to trap you in a torturous world of ropes and jumping, only to be interrupted by the painful reality of Baldi's ruler meeting the backside of your head. In this scenario, all the fear you feel is derived from your immediate situation, and the complications that arise because of it. And this situation only arose due to pure chance. Find yourself in that same situation again, and it's just as likely playtime won't be there. But first prize might. Or who knows, God of Sweep may decide to save you and sweep Baldi out of your life, but he just might as easily sweep you into his ruler. And that's where the horror comes from. It's not any scary monster design, or terrifying noises, or prospects of what may happen to you if you mess up, but the simple setup of being in a dangerous situation that you may not be able to get out of. And since it's all random, you can't always be prepared for everything. Sometimes you gotta fly by the seat of your pants and hope that you can stumble upon a way out. The unpredictability gives the game tension where otherwise it would not have any. And as an added bonus, the math problems themselves have a layer of RNG. Though they are simple problems, having to do math in less than optimal scenarios makes the rest of the game feel tense in comparison. And there are also these weird random noises which can play throughout the game, making the whole place feel even weirder.
Sweep, sweep, sweep! I am coming red.
Baldi's Basics in Education and Learning Classic Edition trademark was released in March of 2018 by Messman12 for the Metagame Jam and has you going about Baldi's schoolhouse collecting notebooks while escaping Baldi and his entourage. Through the randomness of the encounters throughout the game and the math you must do to stay alive, there is an overlying feeling of fear for your immediate safety. If you can surpass these feelings, and have enough luck, you can escape, leaving Baldi's schoolhouse for good.
Wow, great job. Please try and do worse though, I need to...
For now. I rate the game a 6 out of 10. For what it is, the horror is pretty good. There were many moments where I was genuinely scared, and the game never let that feeling of fear go. However, after a while, it goes from being super scary to being more so annoying. The horror is good, but falls off after some time. As for the game as a whole, I give it much the same thoughts and feelings. It's fun. Fun enough that I will sometimes boot it up just to play in the endless mode, but it gets annoying after too long. However, this is kind of what the game is going for. It wanted to be annoying and difficult, like Sonic Schoolhouse, for which it was based off of. So for keeping the edutainment feel that it was going for, even where the horror gameplay is front and center, I think it's fair that it's a little frustrating and annoying. But despite that, the horror is conditional and the gameplay can be considered not fun, so I say 6 out of 10. And that was the horror-based RNG of Baldi's Basics in Education and Learning Classic Edition trademark. I know I said I would do the joy of creation, but I couldn't get it to work without crashing every 5 seconds, so I decided to stop. Who knows? Maybe in the future I'll pick it back up and do a video later in the series, but unless I can figure out how, it will remain scrapped. Anywho, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and stay safe. Alright, now I gotta get out of here.
No running in the halls.